Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody is coping with the chaos that is going on around the world. I hope that everybody is keeping themselves safe and that they're taking the necessary precautions to stay safe and alive. My name is Florence Mba, and I decided to make a video today to talk about the events that are happening around the world. Um, there's a lot of people that are making videos and spreading awareness of what is actually going on around the world. Although a lot of people don't know in details what is taking place, but I think that most of the messages that have been put out as regards to what is happening around the world, there's some correlation, and so people can, listen to those messages, do research, and make their own judgment, personal judgment. I think that 80% to 90% of the information that is being put out, when you make your own judgment, you will come to similar conclusion to what most of the people are spewing out or putting out as you know um, the truth. So that being said, I also want to thank those who have subscribed to my channel. I don't have that many subscribers, but that's not a big deal. The most important thing is that at least the message is going out and people are, watching my channel, you know. So it's not about the numbers, it's all about, if the information is being spread out. Um, so those of you who are have subscribed to the channel, I will appeal to you that you try to spread, the channel by sharing, like the video, um, hit on the notification so that each time that I upload a video, you are privy to get the information and you know be able to watch the video. So once again, thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much for listening to me, and I love you from the bottom of my heart. So yeah, a couple of days ago, I was reading uh, on a website the inquiry. I think it's Los Angeles or something that talked about how the United States government or immigration has stopped issuing passports um, unless you have an emergency case. That's when you will be able to have access to um, a passport. So what I want to talk about this topic is that I know a lot of our African Americans, to be specific, and other Americans in general who had intention of, traveling. Um, I'll be precise or specific with the African Americans who have been trying to repatriate, who have been trying to go to the continent of Africa to do investment. So I think this is a blow to some of them who have had this this zeal, this desire to travel out of the United States and make a new life for themselves, somewhere else. So by the government coming to put a stop or ban um, on issuing passport, I think this is a very, very big deal, as far as those who are interested in traveling are concerned. So, for those of you who had the intention to travel and you have not been able to acquire your passport up till now, I don't know the solution that you guys are gonna have in order to access, passport to travel and do your investments abroad and so on and so forth. Um, I don't want to be somebody that spread out conspiracies and all that stuff, but I believe that there's a reason why the government has stopped issuing passport. To me personally, I don't believe that it has anything to do with, the current chaos that is happening around the world, or to be specific, around happening in the United States. What does having a passport got to do with people traveling? And there are also people that are talking about the reason why the government decided to stop it issuing passport at the moment. You know, is because they're trying to you know come up put in the new system, which is going to be any picture ID, personal identification documents that people are going to have in the future is going to have the new uh, technology. And so the reason why the government has decided to stop issuing passports and other personal documentation at the moment in order to resume in the future once everything, the future which is post coronavirus, is because the government wants to make sure that they um, instill in those new documents the chipping technology, and so on and so forth. So I think that I'm leaning that uh, uh, toward that reason that people are putting out. I think that I buy into that because I don't think that issuing passports during coronavirus is a big deal, that the government is going to stop issuing the passport unless they have an excuse that, oh, offices are closed, or immigration offices are closed there, so they don't see the need of issuing travel documents such as passports and so on and so forth. So um, I don't know, but I'm urging a lot of African Americans in other nationals or ethnicity, or ethnic group rather, who plan on traveling out of United States, that once everything is uplifted, the travel ban is uplifted, they should hurry up and obtain their travel documents and be able to leave the United States as they had intended. Also, I would like to talk about the the current coronavirus thing. So, what I think the coronavirus is all about, that's me personally, that's my opinion. So, you don't have to take my opinion for a fact, but it's based on my own evaluation, assessment, some of the research that I've done that give me um, that give me the reason to conclude that I think that it is a psyop, you know, not that there is no virus, but I do buy into the the claim or argument that those who are pushing out this information about 5G, that 5G is the main, cause, or one of the main causes of the or pandemic. I think I do agree with them, you know, that the whole coronavirus is about those 5G technology that has been installed worldwide, because it spew out radiation that is very harmful to the human, cells in human body. And so those who do not have a very stronger immune system, you know, they die of this radiation that comes from this um, 5G. And those who have a stronger immune system, they kind of battle, you know, with the radiation. They fight it. By fighting it, they are the ones that are releasing these viruses, you know. So it's not so much that it is something that is contagious as the governments around the world want people to believe. I believe that the reason why they want to make people think that it is a pandemic is because they want to instill fear, you know, or they've hit the panic button and they want people to be afraid in order to have full control of the masses of the people. So that's the reason why they have decided that it should uh, it should be a pandemic, putting out the messages that it is a pandemic to scare people off the streets and make people panic so that whatever solution that they have for people, people are going to agree with. People are going to run toward the government in order to have a solution. Meanwhile, the government is not the solution. It's not the one that's going to provide solution to the people because how do you explain that if the government has an ill intention of harming the people by creating this 5G, which they know fully well that this is something that is harmful to the human on the planet, but they went ahead and created it anyway. So if the government really really love the people and they were to protect the people, why would they go ahead and create this harmful technology? So by them creating a harmful technology indicates that they don't have the people's best interest at heart. That if it comes down to hurting the people, they are willing to go that extra mile to do so in order to have their way. So I would urge people, to be extremely cautious. Not every solution that is coming from the government is helpful. So people should have their personal solution, find a way to protect themselves, you know. There are very people have given out measures how people can protect themselves. Um, I'm not going to tell people that they should not wash their hands as initially, put out by various or governments and all that stuff. Yeah, but people don't need to be told to wash their hands, on a regular basis, and to use, hand sanitizers and so on and so forth. That is something that everybody should be aware of, to take necessary precautions even without a virus and protecting themselves. So what I would say is that in addition to all the measures that have been put out for protection, people should be able to eat good. People should return to the basics, um, the basic rather, which is living off the off grid, organic food, natural food, fruits and vegetables in order to build up your immune system. And those who are closer to eating right, they should strengthen their immune system by you know eating fruits and vegetables. you know Eat as little meat as possible or flesh at this moment in time. you know Make sure that you take herbs for treatment. I would not encourage people to be taking pills at the moment. I'm not a fan of pills, but there are those who you know are familiar with pills. They can continue to take it if they want to, but I would advise people not to find a way to abstain from taking pills. I don't take pills. I take herbs. I try to stay healthy and stay as close to nature as possible, and that has helped me through the years. You know, Not that I don't eat meat or fleshy food, but I try to limit it as much as possible, and I'll be so happy or once I get to the day where I don't eat meat or flesh no more. That's my ultimate goal. So I will urge people to, abstain from eating, um, things that have animal fat and also dairies. Abstain from dairies, you know. Fruits and vegetables is the way to go during this period of pandemic or coronavirus. So those are the advice that I would like people uh, to take from me, and try to implement. So it is not easy. I wish I didn't come to the United States at the moment. I think that I feel like I'm trapped here, and I just can't wait for the travel ban to be uplifted so I can return. I also like to urge people that this is a teaching moment. The world has changed. We're not going back to the old world. There is a new world. Some people say new world order. So I think there's going to be two types of world. I think there's going to be those who will continue to depend on the system, and there are those who have learned the lesson, who have become conscious, you know, and are willing to give up, the whole system in order to get something that is better. There are people that don't want to be controlled by the system, and they want to be independent from the system. So I think that what they are going to gather from this moment is that it is a very, very, very detrimental um, and a very, very big risk to depend on the government for survival, because um, when the government decides to shut down, um, then your life is also shut down in some way because you rely on the government for everything. So there are lots of people that are going to be exiting, the matrix and return to, a, a natural lifestyle, organic lifestyle, independent lifestyle. So those people who think that there's no other alternative, I want to tell you guys that there is so much alternative to the life that, we lived uh, a month ago. All these years, all these decades, all these hundreds of years, thousands of years, there's an alternative. It's just that a lot of people who have been indoctrinated are attracted to um, flashy things, glitz and glamour, and all that illusion. So if you have not learned the lesson at the moment with the current event that all you see in the matrix is illusion, then I don't know when you're going to wake up. So this is a teaching moment. You know, um, like I said, there's going to be two worlds. Um, I've chosen that once everything is said and done, I'm going to exit the matrix. I'm going to be obtaining a farm, you know, where I'm going to be growing my own food. I'm going to live the most, gracious and simple lifestyle. Um, I am going to make sure that this never happens to me again, where the government or institutions control my life. It's very risky. So I would urge a lot of people to also emulate, this lifestyle, to have alternative lifestyle to that of what the governments of the world is issuing us. So um, I think I've talked about most of the things, and I'll continue to say that we should all work together, um, in order to bring solutions and continue to spread information about things that are happening around the world. There's also this issue of vaccines. I would urge people not to take vaccines if you don't have to. I've heard that in the new world order, or the new system that is going to be ushered in, once uh, this coronavirus has been contained, it's going to be that those people who used to work with corporations, one of the conditions or criteria for you to get your job back, or for you to be hired by a corporation, is that you're gonna be, have to take a mandatory vaccines. So people who are thinking about going back to the system, I think you guys should be prepared for this mentally. I don't know how true this is. I have no intentions to apply for work or to go get back to the system, you know. So those of you who have the intention to go back to the system, these are the things that you have to be prepared for mentally. You have to deal with, the chipping ID, or technological ID, vaccines, a cashless society, um, so many things, and so you have to prepare yourself mentally for that, and much more. So that's why I'm saying that people should have alternative to, what the system is offering us. And yeah. So I don't want to make this video too long. I think it's been too long already. I would have made it, maybe 4 or 5 separate videos. But sometimes when you begin to speak, you just keep talking and talking and talking as, our ideas come to your head. So forgive me for making the video too long. So what I want to say is that keep on hanging in there, meditate, um, speak to the ancestors. For those of you who are into spirituality, speak to the ancestors. For those of you who are Christians or who believe in Jesus, or or the Christian God, for those of you who are Muslim, who believe in Muhammad, and others, to continue to pray to whatever God you're believing. Continue to pray for the world, pray for a better system. And so, on that note, I said thank you very much once again for watching my video. Thank you for tuning in. Thank those of you who have subscribed to my channel. And I want to say I love you all. Stay safe, stay protected, and have always a plan B and an exit strategy. Peace.